Back at it again. We live. Because you have Tim and Wayne, the consistent duo.
Yep.
It's like, the other boys got something going on. Excuse me. Another game. Sixers put in work again. Back to back. It was an impressive game just because it was a back to back. Detroit was played them nice and gritty. The Sixers had another complete team effort.
Yep.
I watched the Pistons broadcast. I prefer to watch the opposing team broadcast. And like they said, the game turned in the third quarter. The Sixers turned the defense up and just and locked it away. There's a couple things that bother me about the game, but that's like the overview of it. Well, was there anything you took away from it, Tim, that bothered you or that stood out?
All right. Before I talk about the Sixers, I just want to talk about the young boy Cade Cunningham. He's the future of the league. That boy, I mean, this is sixth, seventh game of it. He looked real good. He was giving us the business. I like he got an inside outside game. He can get to the hole at will. He looked nice. I know I'm blowing up the other boy, but I can see why he's was the first pick of the draft. But I like the boy Cade Cunningham for them.
I definitely did.
They got a nice foundation there. They just got to learn how to play, and then once they learn how to play, then they're gonna learn how to win. But right now, they just look like they got a lot of defense. The boy Jeremy Grant, he's nice. that combination, those two right there, they the future. They got
a good coach too. Dwayne Casey got done raw.
Yeah. Oh,
honestly,
they did him dirty.
They did him dirty. You know how they do. They let the ball how they did Mark Jackson. You let the ball build these young boys up, get them to a certain point. Then you come put one of your boys in place and let them win the chip.
They did him so dirty. He was like coach of the year and everything. But I mean, at least he landed. He had a soft landing. He got a nice young team. He could develop them, watch them grow. But he got them playing so good defense. So I appreciate they entertain. I will say they scrappy. They're a scrappy bunch. They entertaining to me. So I like that.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what? Now one thing did bother me. Because we gotta keep it real. But I didn't like that Doc put B back in the game late down the stretch. And then kept him in there, and the team made a concerted. You brought that up, and I was thinking the same thing. You brought that up in the chat, and I was thinking the same thing. The team made a concerted effort to try to get B to get points, and I don't think it wasn't like just him or just Doc, but it was like the whole team. Like even toward like the last possession, Seth was telling B to go ahead and get in the post, and he was clearing. Everybody cleared the side out for him, and Shake was trying to get it to him, and B finally was like, "Oh no, that's because he was tired." But he should not have been in there. We did not. He came back in the 7-minute mark. I was like, okay, if you just want to make sure, and then they did, and then the Sixers defense did step up. They put their foot on it once they got that double-digit lead, taking B back out. Let Drummond finish the game out. That irked me a little bit.
Yeah, and by the way, y'all, I put the link out there if y'all want to join us and just want to jump on a Zoom. Since the two co-hosts ain't here, y'all could definitely we want to hear what y'all think. Got a question for y'all. 9 games in the season. What do y'all think? How the team is? Do you think is an average team, or we one of the best teams? What's your viewpoint of the team right now? Because I think we're better than we originally thought we was going to be. Be honest with you.
Then who thought it was going to be?
Just some of y'all, because I claimed that they was going to be the number 2. I
think that's what both of us said. That's what both of us said. Number 2.
A lot of boys that was disagreeing. So I want to hear from y'all. If y'all give us a call, just join the conversation.
I see Mark. I know Mark probably gonna call in. I see Mark sitting there talking about it and be soft. Like, bruh. I mean, what you want him to go? You want him to be Shaq. Everybody wants him to be Shaq. He's not Shaq. Like he's not
a big dude though. He's a big guy.
No. I agree, and I do like him being in there more. But what would you prefer, him being down there banging around in the paint, or them playing the way that they're playing now and winning? You know what I'm saying? They're spreading the floor out. Like even when he's not down there, they're still spreading the floor out, swinging the ball around and getting open shots. So I would like him to be more physical, but I also realize they're not giving him calls as much. So that's probably why Doc ain't putting him down there as much.
And if he's not getting them calls, then he got to make quick decisions. And that's something
I agree.
that he just don't do. And now
I agree.
He get exposed because it's a fast-paced game and he got to make quicker decisions. He thinks too much. We got our first caller coming in. So let's see who's this. Keep it
I
clean.
know who is it? I
know
know who it is.
Mark.
Yo,
what's good?
Yo, man, listen. Wayne, no, I'm going to talk about them boys. Yo, first of all, I'm going to say that was a great win. You know what I mean? We got five straight wins, right? Five straight.
Yep.
That was a great win. Great win. I think the team, the way they playing, they got, unity and all that. But I'm saying Embiid is soft, man. He's soft. I've never seen a Bull shoot so many fadeaways. And granted, I know they wasn't giving them calls, but still, you can't look for the call. You got to be, go in there and do your thing. He too big.
But the fadeaways was the same shots he was hitting. He's shooting the same shots. He's just not hitting.
He was soft then too.
Come on. So he was soft as the MVP candidate. Okay.
Just because
Dirk Nowitzki made a career on hitting them Jones.
I'm talking about Dirk. I'm talking
it don't matter. But if you're saying that shot is a soft shot, it's not soft if that's the shot you can hit.
So Wayne,
he's just not hitting.
You telling me he's taking it out, shooting that shot. I think he's taking it. He's not trying to go in and get that contact. He's taking that fadeaway because he don't want the contact.
So why? I think he's taking a fadeaway because that's his shot, and that's a shot that he hits consistently for the most part. Why go in there and force it and get in his contact, especially if they're not going to call it like that they was calling anymore. Now, then if he goes down and he's doing that, everybody be sitting there like, why is he taking it on himself? Why is he doing that? Swing it, kick it out.
But the thing with me is, I'm not saying take it on yourself. I'm saying certain plays, I think that he doesn't go hard as he should go hard. That's all I'm saying. I don't mind. I'm like I said, I don't mind shooting the three. I don't mind shooting fade away. But a certain time where I'm looking at the game where Embiid is not going asserting himself, even with rebounds, he's not getting no. Maxey had more rebounds than him.
Okay, and you don't think that some of that comes in the fact that when you have a man that's supposed to be the rebound, you don't think people go in and make sure they block him out? That's how come other guys do get rebounds sometimes.
Well, the game I was watching, they wasn't boxing him out. They wasn't boxing him out. He wasn't boxing him out. He just wasn't jumping. He wasn't jumping. And I don't know if he's scared because he might get hurt. I don't know what it is. And don't get me wrong, Embiid is still my man, but I think he should be a little bit more assertive on the defensive.
Mark, I agree with you. Mark. I think what I'm saying is he's supposed to be the most dominant big man in the league right now, and he's not showing me anything. He's showing that his game was predicated on the whistle from the referees, and they're not doing it right now. His game based off of the refs.
Stop. Of course, Tim agrees with you because Tim is going to take any opportunity he can to go against Bede because it bumps up his point about this.
Right now,
but he's not. Okay, all right. Let's look in the comments and see what everybody else saying about what y'all talking crazy.
Me and Tim talking truth. Forget them.
Y'all talking crazy.
You talking crazy, boy.
Y'all
come on, Wayne, man. Come on, man. Hey, Tim, I gotta give you credit for this one. You talking? Keep talking, Tim. I like what I'm hearing.
That's
Keep talking, Tim.
No, but I'm telling you that's the truth, though, man. It is.
Yeah, all right. Here you come in with it. You're supposed to kill all your notifications before you come in.
All right,
like, go ahead. What's up, Ethan? Well, Ethan, what's your take on the game? You ready to get what your take was?
Good game. Both teams play hard. Listen, sometimes a win is a win in the NBA. Teams like Detroit, you should win. I'm not concerned about Joel Embiid right now. Everybody else, people around him are playing at a nice level. Maxey, Seth, for one. Maxey had a really good game. The Yang. So when you got these guys playing around you very well, plus they doubled Embiid the whole game. They wanted the ball out of his hands. What do you have? 9 rebounds, 6 assists, or something like that. Mm-hmm. So listen, if we don't have to beat Joel Embiid up at the beginning of the year like we do all the time, he'll be fine, man. He'll come around. He'll be fine. So I'm not concerned about him. I'm happy with the win. Do we like seeing a dominant? Don't we like having a dominant player on our team? Everybody likes having somebody they can say is a top 5 player in the league on their team. Yeah, we all want to say that. Is B playing like that right now? No, he's not. But am I concerned right now? No, right now I'm not concerned.
I'm telling you, when I look at the shot chart, I look at Embiid. All right, he shot. He had the off night. His shot, like I said, to me, he's taking the same shots. He's just not hitting right now for whatever. I don't know if it's the basketball. I don't know if it's the mindset. He's just not hitting. No, what?
No, what's happening is if you notice, if you go back to last year, Embiid had a lot of open looks last year. Once that Tom Thibodeau defense went into effect, a lot of teams are playing that same. They're going to give him a hard double. He hasn't learned to adjust to that way of defense.
How? Ethan just told you he had 6 assists, and the rest of the team is hitting. What are you talking about? It's team.
He's shooting 30-something% from the field.
Okay,
that's not adapting.
What? No, that's called being off. That's called not hitting your shots.
Well, he's been off the whole season, and I'm correlating him being off with those hard doubles that he hasn't learned how to get that quick shot up.
Bro,
he gets hard. He had 3 assists.
But he gets hard double his whole career. What are you talking about?
So this game he had 3 assists.
Okay,
shot 30-something%. You trying to say that was a good game? Then yesterday he shot 30-something%.
I didn't say he had. I didn't say he had a good game. But I'm not sitting up here talking. We're winning, and he's playing in the team. See, at least everybody on the roster is playing within this team scheme, and we are winning. But you're the same person.
We got a better bench.
You're the same person that if Embiid was coming out here and jacking up more shots because he was off and being more aggressive, then be like, see, he's selfish. He shot the ball 15 times. They had nice talent shooting.
I agree with 2 people on here. I agree with I think it was Chris Butler who said he loved this new look Sixers. I do too. Hats off to Doc. I killed Doc. But if it's a product of Doc, then I'm happy with it. And Nadir Aggie said Embiid lacks basketball IQ. I agree with that to a certain extent. I'm going to tell you why. Joel Embiid hasn't been playing basketball that long. I always said his basketball IQ is not the greatest. I do agree with that. I think sometimes he has to make faster moves and decisions with the basketball. Will this come? I don't know. Is Joel Embiid now? Is he what he is at this point in his career? Maybe. So we might have to do what we have. But Joel Embiid is still a great player. So I expect him to get past this little mini slump, and when we need him, I think he'll be back to form. Hopefully.
Yeah, and I mean, and that being said, like we focusing on. I like to focus on the same thing as
hockey assists.
But we won.
We won. But you know why the hockey assist? This what I will give the hockey assist, because the way the Sixers system is, they swing the ball around. So that does mean something. It's not in the stats. But and I'm not even just saying for Embiid. I'm saying for the whole team. They swing the ball. It's like pass, and you got shooters all over the place, and they hit. And the Bull Yang, bro, I can't say enough about. I hope he can play like this way for good, because he even played solid defense. And I'm saying he plays physical at times, and he started off tonight. And I got to give my man. I got to give Seth carried the load early. Seth was hot. He carried the load early. Then in the third quarter, you had a stretch where Maxey just went off like in the last part of the third quarter. Maxey scored like 6 points, got rebounds.
He actually hit 3 pointers. He played well, man.
It's a great team effort. And they was without Tobias again. What they're going to be without?
Yes.
No Danny Green. Korkmaz has a hurt risk. He's not playing. Isaiah Joe is out under the protocol. They were shorthanded on a back-to-back night. This is a great team win, in my opinion.
I agree with that. They handled business. They went on the road. It was a business trip. They handled their business.
Yep.
I'm not trying to be a hater, but the Eagles' offensive game is still non-existent. I'm like, come on, dude. Give me something.
We said that you're not going to get a lot of great offense from Thibault, man. He's a defensive specialist.
He's great at that.
He'll give you your 3 from time to time. So you got to watch him on his defense, because when he on, and when he off, he off. So I think it's up to Doc to really watch him in his minutes as far as who he guarding. Because sometimes he can get real foul happy. Then reach behind fouls, and that irks me. He does get great swipes with that, but I mean, Thibault is what he is, man. He never. I don't think he ever be a great offensive player. Can he hit a spot up 3? I think he needs to work on that. Try to add that in his game. Work harder. Other than that,
be a 3-and-D guy. Just be able to hit.
He's not a 3-and-D guy.
But that's what something that he should have been. That he should be working on. This is his 3rd season. Usually around the second and third season, that's when they make that leap. I'm not seeing that from him.
Listen, I just like how the team.
some guys, this is what they are. See that sometimes you got to look at it and be, like that's even like with Joel Embiid. I'm starting to feel like this is what he is, but what he is was an MVP caliber player a couple of years out of his career and been pretty solid, pretty darn good the rest of it. So I mean, he's not the perfect player. We like Ethan said, his IQ is like his basketball knowledge. First of all, he started late. And then you had Brett Brown the first 4 or 5 years of your career. So he already started out in the hole. And he might just be a man of the old dog, not learning new tricks now. But I do think that I think he's better. His turnovers have been down every year. So I do think that he is getting better with better coaching. I don't know how much better he can get, though.
Yeah, Kurt's classic. What y'all think about Paul Reed play tonight?
I'm just glad he got some clout.
I was impressed with what he came in there and did. Like he was it was Detroit though, but he was in there and he was active, especially with like the one play he went to go up. They knocked the ball loose. He scrambled, got it on the ground. He almost stood up with it. And then he remembered what was going on and he passed it. And then he got it back and got the put back dunk on it. Paul Reed was bringing the energy tonight. I like what I saw.
But I'm telling y'all though, I mean, listen, granted it's Detroit. I don't want to get all hype. But Maxey, the growth of Maxey. I told y'all this year was about the growth of Tyrese Maxey. In these first, how many games we played? 7, 8? Where we at?
Right now we're 6.
This was our ninth. So
we're 7-2.
Yeah.
I said I wasn't going to judge this team after 10 games, but 9 games in, what do y'all think about Tyrese Maxey's play?
I see he's getting better.
Is he a starting guard in the NBA?
Yes. Now, what I would like to see is, and I do think it might have been, I think we talked about it at that time, a matter of the coaching. Like against the Knicks, I felt like he kind of disappeared in the end of that game. But that could have been, like I think y'all was saying at the time, that it was like the coach ain't let him shine. But it's like I see spurts in Maxey where as though, like, first of all, his finishing around the basket, I'm very impressed by. For somebody that doesn't get up and dunk over everybody and is not tall like that. He gets at the basket and he has a knack for finishing, and getting up good shots around the basket.
Last ball like that with us was like AI, really. That was
I mean, he's not on AI level, of course, but he finishes around the basket. Yeah, I like how he finishes around the basket.
My only thing is, like, I see development in Max, and I'm actually impressed with what he's doing. I thought his jumper would be a little bit more wet than what I'm seeing. But I am seeing progression because last year he just had that little floater, and I'm seeing a little bit better, especially with the 3-point shooting. But I thought it would be a little bit better because they kept saying this offseason he was like working out every day, like doing 2 a days and everything. Thought it was gonna be a little better, but I'm still impressed with what I've seen so far.
You know what Maxey's showing you? That the work in the gym pays off and it's translating to the basketball court.
Yeah.
Listen,
and when you work on the stuff you're not good at, instead of just keep going back with the stuff that you can do, and you just keep doing that over and over. How about the great players go and they develop new stuff to their game, like work on new stuff so that they can increase their repertoire, so to speak.
Listen, I think that Negro said he prefer Max as a 6-man. We can give him the ball with the bench. He can let him attack the rim. Listen, I would love Maxey in that role. I don't think Maxey's really a point, even though he's learned to play. I think he's a scorer. I think Maxey's a scorer, and I think we talked about this before. He get in there and try to get buckets. But if he can learn how to play, did I just freeze up? Look at me.
No, you still there.
Yeah, but I can hear you though.
If he can learn how to play the point, under Doc's tutelage, Maxey can be really good, man. Really good for this team. Maybe help us win a chip. I gotta leave and come back.
Yeah, I agree. Hey, listen, Herb. I'm not necessarily trying to throw shade on. I appreciate the team and the people that are here, and I'm not saying, like I said last year, I did a whole lot. I still think that Ben Simmons can do some things good, but I think that Ben Simmons is a selfish player, a selfish person. He doesn't necessarily want to do what's best for the team. He does what he's most comfortable with. And I think if you're a great player and you're a team player, you'll do what's best for the team to win. And I don't think Ben Simmons is the only person that does stuff like that. I think Russell Westbrook is along those lines too, as a person that wants to do the things that he's comfortable with, not necessarily do stuff that'll make the team better. I think that it's a lot of players like that, but I think that the great players do what they need to do to make their teams better.
Listen, somebody said something to me, and I gotta speak on it, because I said at the beginning I think the Sixers are a 4th or 5th seed, and I still do. The league will tell you what you are, right? They'll tell you what you are. This is the beginning. It's only 9 games in? It's an 82 game season. All right, they will tell you which I guarantee teams in the 6th and 7th place won't end in 6th and 7th place. So to tell you what you are at the end of the season, I think if we don't add a legitimate number 2 with Joel Embiid, that we will be a 4th seed. It's just going how it's going to shake out.
What do you mean a legitimate number 2? What?
I don't think Toby's a legitimate number 2. Maybe we could trade Ben and package him and get a legitimate number 2.
Oh, I think if you take Toby and you might not necessarily need a legitimate number 2. How about if you have a number 1 and you have a bunch of number 3s? You know what I'm saying? If you tell me Toby and then the way that Seth is playing right now, and you have a team. You have a team of players on there, so I don't think that you not necessarily have that. Now, would I prefer? Yeah, absolutely. If you're telling me I could get 2 stars on the team, but if you tell me I have a superstar and a bunch of other players that are like a few that are just underneath, because I think that right now Seth is playing close to an all-star level where you give him consideration, and I think that Tobias was playing on an all-star type level before he went out, so or at least consideration.
If Embiid don't start stepping up his game, we don't got a number 1.
Stop.
Embiid's a number 1.
I'm saying up until this season, like I'm trolling a little bit, but at the same time,
he's trolling a lot.
He's not really playing up to par right now, and
yet we are 7-2.
That's true. That's a good thing. I mean, that's promising. We missed a lot of Bulls. But at the same time, he used to get about 9 free throws a game because the refs were calling the game a little different.
So do you think Harden and Dame trash now too?
Wait, what's that?
I mean, all these other stars that's struggling. So you tell me all the stars that's struggling. So now all of a sudden they're not as good as they were now. See, that's the only thing I'm saying. And what we do, this is what everybody does. You always put a little bit more on your team or on your person. It's like, that's even like, honestly, even with Ethan, what he's saying about us being, the league will tell you what it is. And you could say the same thing with right now. Miami is cooking. Chicago is cooking. But who's to say in a couple of weeks they might hit a stride where, I'm saying, they're not doing it as much. So that's true with everybody. I don't think the Nets is going to be as bad as they are, especially if Kyrie's coming back. You know what I'm saying? You don't hear a whole lot from Milwaukee. I think I agree with what you're saying, but just because we know stuff could change, don't look at what we have in our team and say and expect that we're going to be. Don't judge our team worse than anybody else.
Listen, I love the whole. I got dressed up. Somebody asked me how I'm feeling about Doc. I love basketball, the regular season basketball, but we all agree that you don't have to coach like you got to coach in the playoffs. Doc has lost how many 7-game series in the playoffs? Probably the most. And he had 3-1 comebacks. So leave me. Don't come at me with this Doc stuff because he cooking in the regular season. I don't want to hear it. Yes, hopefully he got him playing well. Yes, he has coachable players. Yes, but listen, Doc still got a lot to prove to me. Because he didn't coach good against the Atlanta series. Y'all can say what y'all want when he kept screaming about, you want me to bench Ben? You want me to bench Ben? Yes.
That was before that series. He didn't say it during that. He benched.
You sure he said it during the Atlanta series?
No, he actually.
Well, he didn't bench him during the Atlanta series when he should have. He waited to the last minute.
Rotating. He did bench Ben.
He waited till the last minute to bench Ben. So it was too late.
Oh, he did.
No, I
don't want to hear about this Doc.
No, Doc.
I agree with you with a lot of that, but I do think that he did bench Ben, and then, but it is something to it too when a guy was playing and the guy got you to where you are. His problem was that he put trust in Ben to have a baller's mindset. That's honestly that's where the problem came in. If Ben had a baller's mindset, then he like the same way Giannis and Ben's not on Giannis level, but I'm talking about the mindset. When they started doing a hack of Giannis went back and made sure he got in the lab and was like, y'all, all right, y'all want to keep fouling me? I'm going to hit these foul shots. Now, I'm saying? Even Shaq, when they used to hack Shaq, like Shaq would say, like when you had in the playoffs, like championship situations and stuff like that, Shaq shot a better percentage from free throw because it was like, all right, I'm going to concentrate on it more. So, but instead of running from it, and for anybody that thinks we don't need Ben Simmons does not want to be here. His mindset is not to be on this team. He's going to, if he comes back in and plays, he's going to do nothing but disrupt this team chemistry. I didn't feel that way at first, but the way that his mind, they going out of their way to try to be accepting of Ben and saying, let's help him out. Let's help him get through a situation. And Ben still just crapping on the rest of the organization. He does not need to be here.
I mean, anybody that's been dealing with mental issues, I'm sure 2 weeks into a season, you're not going to sit there like you should be fully healthy.
So he ain't had mental issues until they stopped paying him. Then all of a sudden he had mental issues. That's like the mob bosses. That's like the mob bosses that's running all these organizations, and then they get ready to get locked up. All of a sudden, they walk around drooling like Cosby when he had his robe on and walking like something was wrong with him. All of a sudden, he blind, he can't feel. When you're under that pressure, all of a sudden now is something wrong.
You ain't see that Cosby had a bad eye for like the last 20 years. He really couldn't see. But besides that, the boy Ben, y'all know, and I said this yesterday, if you refuse to shoot the basketball, and then the best part about playing basketball, you're not shooting because you're scared to death. There's some type of mental issue there. You saw his sister having breakdowns on the internet because there was mental issues within the family. So you know there's something there. So you're going to give him 2 weeks to get all his stuff together. All his ducks in a row. 2 weeks. Now you got to get back on the team and play basketball.
Listen, I got.
He had all. Go ahead.
I'm tired of talking about Ben Simmons, man.
All right, let's talk about the game then. Let's finish with the game.
He had all season to get his mental straight, but he didn't want to.
Let's talk about who playing, who on the floor. So wait a minute, how long we gonna miss Toby and them for now? 10 days?
Toby's out for like 10 games. 10 days.
They say he actually has symptoms, so it's not like he's not experiencing symptoms from it.
No, they did. They said he tested positive and he had symptoms, yes.
I told y'all this was year of Maxey, man. Let's get behind our starting point guard and see what we can do. Just hopefully the Sixers make some moves to help put more players around Embiid and we figure out what's going on with Joel. Hopefully, this is my whole thing with Joel Embiid, though. Seriously, hopefully he's not hurt.
So you think he's injured?
Hopefully it's not an injury he's forced himself to play through. That's what I hope. It's not. Because that can really be detrimental to his team.
Well, they did an MRI on his knee last week. They said it was fine. They just want to give him some rest. So they got the MRI.
I think he's structurally fine, but I do think that is, like I said, to me, his conditioning is not as good as it should be. You can see it. He's looking like the dragging around tired guy, and I think that's because his knee bothered him, and so he took off of his training. Like, one of them situations, I'm coming to play, but I'm not playing like getting in shape, kinda, and that's what he looks like to me, honestly. So I mean, we'll see. But no matter what, he still draws the attention. He still. You still got it. He's coming. I guarantee you when the team comes to face the Sixers, Joel Embiid is their focal point, and that enables all these other guys to get open shots and everything else.
That's true. But we got a nice offense that is swinging the ball, and we got. This is a difference too. Without Ben on the floor, everybody who gets the ball can shoot the three. So you got to respect it. You got to step up. You got to run out to the three. You got to get them off the 3-point line. You didn't have to do that with Ben. So the offense is more open, as we all see. We don't sit here and lie to yourselves. This offense looks a lot better without Ben in it.
You see, you can't say that because again, you're taking away all the variables of Ben not being on this team, because last year's team we had Mike Scott and we had Dwight Howard. Of course, is it because of Ben, or is it the subtraction of Mike Scott and Dwight Howard and the addition of Niang? And
wasn't you hyping Dwight Howard up last season? Now all of a sudden, Dwight Howard was in Ben's
way. But Dwight Howard is just flip flop with Drummond. Neither one, Dwight or Drummond don't shoot threes. So you can't use Dwight as an excuse.
You still could. Drummond is still a starter in this league. He doesn't start, but he's still a starter. Dwight's not. There's things that Drummond
don't shoot. No,
well.
Listen, they're treating Drummond at the three like they'll treat Ben Simmons.
No, but the point that you were making was the team looks a lot better and a lot fluid.
They do.
Because Drummond is a better player than Dwight Howard. You can't say he's not. He is.
I'm talking about on the offensive end, they look more fluid.
But Drummond,
on the offensive end, the ball swings around more. You don't have as much one-on-one ball. You had more of last year.
Drummond gets a lot more assists than Dwight ever did. And Niang can shoot the ball way better than.
What does that have to do with Ben?
No, that's what I'm saying. You can't blame it on just Ben because we have additions to the team. We have better additions.
But you got to understand how people play. All right, if Ben's setting a pick, right, and he pops, what happens to the person that's trying to cut to the basket off that
Everybody
pick?
jams up the lane and
what does Ben man do? Does Ben man go follow Ben? Does Ben's man go follow him to the corner three?
Yep. You think I'm gonna prove your point just so that you can get
listen, you gotta understand with Ben Simmons, it's always an extra guy in the lane, it's always an extra guy playing defense. That's just what it is. That's what you gotta deal with. That's just what you gotta deal with.
I mean, I'll be honest, I honestly thought that where the Sixers would struggle mostly on offense without Ben was the fast-paced part of the game and pushing it, but I honestly, it looks like more guys are able to get that ball and spring it out. Then, of course, they don't have the agility that Ben Simmons has, like where Ben Simmons could snatch the rebound and run up court. But now you have guys that get out and they run, and like Niang you could swing it to. They don't have to dribble it all the way up the court. They swing it to the next man and they push it. They got a lot of other guys that can handle the ball well enough that they still have a good transition offense. And Maxey's a bolt of lightning running out there, and actually is a threat to score attacking the basket. Instead of like his first instinct is to attack that basket and score if he's on a fast break, not to look for kickback pass.
Yeah, man. So I'm just listen. This team fun to watch. You want to see more? It's just fun to watch. I'm looking forward to the next game.
Yep.
This is a good team. If we beat Chicago again, that's gonna be hard to beat a team like 4 days apart and on their home court. That's gonna be real difficult to do. But if we can squeak away and beat Chicago again, hey, we got.
Yeah, that'd be nice. That'd be nice. We gotta get our revenge on the Knicks, though.
Yeah, honestly, when I look at this team, the thing I love about this team the most, and it kind of go like with Tim saying how we have better players or more players, but we still have, like, even when Cork is in there, we got guys take turns. Like, this is what real good teams do. Like, you have your stars and your big time scorers. Like, you'll have your focal point of Embiid and Tobias and Seth. But then when the defense starts, like last year in the playoffs, if Embiid was off and Toby was off, then we was in trouble. If we didn't have one of those two cooking with Seth, if we didn't have two of our top three scorers cooking, we was in trouble. But now you look at it, you got random guys can come in here and get Niang could drop 20 on you one game. Seth still could go for like 30 on you or whatever. Shake could drop a good double digits on you. Maxey dropped 20 on you tonight. Like, you got a lot more options, so you can't just focus on locking down the better players.
That's the point I was making when I was making my point.
Yeah, but that's what you were saying. But then also you don't have Ben Simmons being a black hole with the rock.
And again, y'all say that he always giving up the rock. Y'all kept
Dwayne say that?
What?
Yes.
No, because Wayne, that's your whole argument. Because everybody keeps saying, "Oh, Ben keeps giving up the rock. He don't want to hold the ball," but now he holds the rock. Now
no. My
point guard is Maxey. I don't even know who Ben is. Who's this Ben guy you keep bringing up?
My whole thing is it became a hole in the offense because he ran from the ball and then wouldn't even make the move. Now you get a ball to Maxey or even the court, they're going to try to make a move and draw some kind of attention from the defense. When you have a guy that's passionate before defense even comes to him, it's nothing you can do with that. And I understand it might be his mental whatever, and he's going off the handle now and he don't want to. I understand it may be issues with that. But if that's the business, I'm not in the business of babysitting. We in the business of winning. I'm not.
Let me ask you, especially playoff time. I agree with that.
Did we need Embiid to win this game?
Well,
I think we did.
He's the second best player on the team right now.
I think we needed. You said Embiid, right?
Yeah.
No, we could have won this. We could have won this with Drummond and
well, guess what? They was coming back. They came back and made an effort of it, and then when they brought Embiid back in there, Embiid actually made a couple defensive stops, got rebounds, and he even hit a shot in there. Embiid, the whole intensity of the defense changed when Embiid came back in that game.
Yeah.
And I was looking at the Detroit thing, and that's what they were saying. They was like the Sixers won this on defense. Detroit was starting to get back in the flow, and the Sixers defense just slammed the door shut.
Just
yeah,
so
we can't afford no letdown game.
To answer your question, everybody on our team, with the exception of Embiid and Thibault, was a positive as far as plus negative. Embiid was a negative, a -9. Everybody else was +3, +12, +13, +18, +20. Embiid. So to answer that question, yes, we definitely could have won the game without Embiid. Embiid,
you out your rabbit, man.
We could have won this game easily.
Okay. All right. I heard enough. All
right, but just so you know, it's the proof is in the pudding. I'm looking at the stats right here. He was a -9.
I think if we played them on another night that wasn't on a back-to-back night, I think we could have just went. But I think everybody, they needed a team effort tonight because, like Seth cooked early on, but Seth didn't necessarily have the legs in him later on. But Seth carried the load early, so it was a good team win. They needed the team.
Yes, Detroit. I don't want to get too much into it, but good win.
All right, so we'll be back here on Saturday. So Saturday after the game. I don't know what time the game starts, probably around 7:30, but we'll be back. So join us live. Don't forget, hit that like button right now. Can y'all do that for us? Because it helps the channel. We're trying to get this thing to grow. So all we actually do is give us a little love, give us a little support, hit that like button. Don't forget to follow us on all our platforms. You listen to the Uncensored Philly Sports Podcast, and we are out. Thanks for watching.
Later.